I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
This is Matt once again. We're about to another review. This is another paid request, this time for loranfrancisco. One of the films he wanted me to review was 21 Bridges. Now 21 Bridges is a film I had heard of. It stars Chadwick Boseman, who was in Black Panther, the star of Black Panther. And the film wasn't directed, but was produced by the Russo brothers. Now the Russo brothers are the guys who directed Avengers Infinity War, Endgame, all that stuff, which I was not a fan of. I'm sorry, was not a fan of them. In fact, I like this better than both Avengers movies. And again, they only produced this. They didn't direct it. This was a decent film. This was a decent cop thriller type of movie. Fairly straightforward. If you took out the end credits, it's like 90 minutes long. Chadwick Boseman was fairly good. It went at a nice pace. It was well shot. Supporting cast, you have people like J.K. Simmons and Teef David. Teef David isn't in the movie too much, sadly, but it was nice to see him. And like I said, the movie's fairly straightforward. Chadwick Boseman, when he was a kid, his father was a cop. He was killed by some bad guys. Now, growing up, Chadwick Boseman, he is a detective who is also known to shoot cop killers. He said that it's been in self-defense, probable cause, rifle shootings, but other cops kind of look at him as the shooter of cop killers. So what happens is, during one night in New York, these two crooks, they're going to steal some drugs, only they find out that instead of like 30 pounds, it was like 300 pounds of drugs. An insane amount of drugs. And so a bunch of cops pop out of nowhere, and mostly this other guy, played by Kitsch, shoots all the cops. And like I said, it's well shot. It's not shaky cam. It's not confusing, poorly edited type of crap. And thus this manhunt begins to find these two cop killers. And the title comes into play because of the stuff that they want closed down, 21 Bridges, to keep them enclosed in Manhattan to try to find these two cop killers. He has a new partner, and I will say the film, it's a good film, but at the same time, it's not great, I think, for a number of reasons. Number one, I do think it's a bit predictable. Like, when you have this lady who's his new partner, you're going to realize, and I would consider this a spoiler, you don't realize, number one, this deals with crooked cops. Because you know there's something more to this. With how these cops just, all these cops just randomly show up at this place. Like, you know it deals with crooked cops. In fact, if you watch the trailer, it pretty much tells you it deals with crooked cops. And there's more to this. And number two, you know this new partner in Chadwick Boseman, she's crooked. So this, I mean, it's fairly predictable. JT Simmons, you could tell that he's with this too. Also, I wouldn't say it's the most memorable movie. Like, I would say within a week you'll forget about the film. Like, you're watching it, and it's like, okay, it's fairly well shot. Chadwick Boseman does a really good job in the role. I prefer him in roles like this than Black Panther, honestly. I was not a fan of Black Panther at all. At all. With a shitty, overdone CGI fight scene that looked like a goddamn video game at the end with Black Panther and evil Black Panther. To, like, this is more my kind of story compared to Black Panther's story. And with roles, Chadwick Boseman, I liked his performance. He's one of the things that kept me drawn in, as well as I liked the way the film looked. It is rated R. And it's nice to see a rated R cop film, especially when, who knows the next time you'll see one, considering all the crap about, we hate cops now, apparently. Every cop apparently is awful. So, who knows the next time you'll see a cop movie. And then the rest of the film is the manhunt to get these two guys. These two guys going from point A to point B to try to escape. Pretty much Chadwick Boseman realizes something's going on. Chasing these guys down. Then it deals with computer drives and info that's on them. And then ultimately Chadwick Boseman dealing with these dirty cops at the end. That blood cannot be on the badge. And like I said, it's a movie that it's kind of hard to talk about because, like I said, it's at least at length because on the one hand, it's fairly predictable. You know where it's going, and the action scenes, there's a couple of them, although there's parts of you that go, well, how the fuck are these dirty cops, did they think they would get away with this? Because at one point one of them shoots a guy in a bar with plenty of witnesses. Think about if a detective went into a bar and there's all these witnesses and just shot the guy when all he did was turn like this. You've seen how, no, that's not going to fly. So you watch this, you go, no. Or during a chase scene, helicopter is just shooting at one of these two crooks. Again, Chadwick Boseman wouldn't have to do anything. If someone has one fucking cell phone, Chadwick Boseman's work is done. So it's like, okay, you gotta look at it as a movie. So I mean, there's a couple stuff they're like, huh? Again, how could a guy just shoot a guy at a bar full of witnesses and he thinks he could get away with it? He wouldn't. Like I said, as proven in today's world, he would not get away with it. And it's a well-made, efficient little cop film. But there's a reason why this came out last year and no one brings this film up. No one talks about it because at the end of the day, it's nothing that special. It's still worth a look for people who like cop movies and R-rated cop thrillers like me. So it was an easy film to sit through. And it shows Chadwick Boseman can be fairly good in this type of movie. I would prefer him doing these type of movies over Black Panther type of movies. Like I said, I liked the film, but it was nothing remotely special either. Like I said, the cinematography, the look of the film is nicely done. But within a month or even a week after watching it, I don't know if you really remember a whole lot about it. I don't know. Just again, it's nothing really that special. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.